Hey everybody, it's Kyle. Hey, today I want to talk about something that a good friend of mine, Brett, reminded me of recently. He was talking about the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the old movie. We got to talking a little bit about some of the characters in there. And one of the ones that he mentioned specifically was Veruca Salt. And I don't know if you remember her, but she was the one who was a really rich, spoiled girl. And her father had taken his entire factory and had started and bought chocolate from Willy Wonka. And the entire factory had all of his employees searching for the golden ticket, one of the 5 golden tickets that Willy Wonka was giving out to tour his factory. And, what Brett reminded me of was that they were so intent on finding the golden ticket that these people were just, all the employees in the factory were basically unwrapping chocolate and throwing chocolate in a pile and then going to the next one. And none of them were enjoying the chocolate. And so, as we talked about this, he said it's an interesting principle about how we get so focused on our long-term goals or long-term accomplishments or long-term change possibly that we don't really take time to enjoy the small little bits of chocolate that are in our lives. And I had a small little bit of chocolate a couple of nights ago, and remembering his conversation with me kind of brought that really to full light for me. And so what had happened is my son Eric has been looking forward to getting the new Ninja Turtles movie, Out of the Shadows. And for weeks now, he knew it was coming out on the 20th of this month. And he wrote it down on his calendar. I'm sure some of your kids have calendars on their wall too and know it's coming up. And was counting down days until that movie came out. And sure enough, on the 20th it came out, and my wife and my oldest son went over and picked it up for him at the at Walmart or wherever they picked it up. And my son, my number 2 son, Zach, he's 20. He has this habit of sliding new things under Eric's door and listening for the excitement. And so he slid it under the door, and Eric was in his room, and he said he heard this excitement and then rustling around and running across the room, and then, oh my gosh, it's here. And then he opened the door and just told Zach, thank you so much, and gave him a big old giant hug. Well, when I got home and heard this story, I was kind of excited to see my son on the spectrum's reaction to that and see how much he was enjoying his new movie. And so I went upstairs and I knocked on his door, and he opened the door, and he was watching the movie. And immediately his eyes lit up, and he saw me, and he said, "Dad, Ninja Turtles." And I said, I know, it's so exciting. And he stood up, I'm not kidding you, and he walked over and he put his arms out like this, and he wrapped them around me and gave me a big old hug. Now, for some of you, maybe that's normal, but for me and my son, who's 17 and hasn't really liked me at all for about 4 years now, that was something really special. That was a really big old nice piece of chocolate that I don't get very often, that I've been missing. And he gave me a hug, and he held on for a few minutes. Not minutes, but a few seconds. It felt like minutes. And then he unwrapped his arms around me and went back and sat down and just started smiling. And so I just took a moment to walk out of the room and just really savor that moment, because it meant a lot to me, and I don't get them that often. And I'm so focused on long-term goals and making sure that we're doing what's best for them. I don't think sometimes I take the time to absorb and really savor and absorb those special moments that happen more frequently than we might think. So my challenge to you this weekend is taste the chocolate. Every chance you get, find and look for little quick opportunities where we really can enjoy the love that we share with our kids. And what a difference it made in my day, and it's really kind of carried me throughout the next few days. And so I want to challenge you to do that. Savor the chocolate. Don't be like Veruca Salt and just flipping through those things so fast that you don't really enjoy those day-to-day moments. And when you do find them, let them just uplift you. We all need a little bit of that now and then, and that certainly can help. So have a great weekend. I'll talk to you next week. Have a great one. Bye-bye.